Hey folks, my name is Patdees. Thanks for coming to the channel. Today we're going to talk about listing goals and listing. And for me, it's really been something I never realized, and having doing eBay for a long time, turning full time a couple years ago, really how important it is to have listing goals. So since July 4th of 2022, I've been listing every day. So I was down with my friend Mr. Buys a Lot, and I got this right on board here, 30-day organizer, and he gave it to me for free. I was helping him clear out the. I said, "Oh, look at that!" He said, "Oh, yeah, if you want that, you could take that." So this is going to be a great tool. I thought, why not film a video talking a little bit about this and utilize this to help motivate myself and help maybe you guys are following me and help motivate you. So we're gonna set this up for February, and I hope these videos motivate you, and by sharing my story and how my record is working, that it works for you. So let's get this set up for February, and we'll come back. I'll set this up for February, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about basically listings and what I think about it. All right. Have it all set up. So we're going to utilize this board for February 2023. And if you guys don't have a board like this, don't worry about it. Get a small calendar. You could pick up a calendar anywhere. A lot of times the banks have them for free, or hardware store has them for free, or find a cheap calendar from like a Walmart or something for $2 for the month of January. I just used a calendar, and I'm still going to use that because I'm writing down my sales and stuff like that. But this will be great, and I will utilize this. And probably twice a month, I will talk where we at in sales and listing goals. And that's the big question sometimes you get, like, okay, Pat, so what are you selling? And it's always easy to look at people that share their eBay stores. So you can obviously go into my store and see what I'm selling. So, you know, even though you may look at the store and say, oh, you're selling a lot of cheap things, my average is still averaging anywhere from $28 to $35, depending upon what day. If I sell a bunch of baseball cards at $5, that obviously brings it down. But that's still my average. Some of the bigger items helps that. So, all right, I'm gonna flip the camera around. I have my GoPro on, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about, and then I'll come back to the board, and we'll talk about basically what I'm thinking, what changed me, and what motivated me to want to do this. All right, so let's flip the camera around, folks. Okay, I hope that's not too close up for you guys. Kind of scary, but and you can see I have my GoPro. A lot of times the GoPro's good for when you want to show stuff, hold it in your hands and not have to hold a camera. And but not this one is the GoPro 8, which I bought 2 years ago but didn't open for a year, so I'm not upgrading. These people don't realize these are expensive. These are $450 investments, and this works just fine. A lot of times you get familiar with basically how close or how far you need to be. But all right, so what I want to do, and typically twice a month, I'll give an update of where we're at in listings and where we're at in sales. And I want to help and hope that anyone watching this that doesn't have a lot of money or isn't part of a group can get something out of this. So here's the deal. I've been selling on eBay for years. I've been on since, 88? Is it 88? 88, 98, it's been a long time. It's been like 26, 27 years. So that's 98, 2000. Yeah, that's 98. 80, yeah, 88. I was only, yeah, there was no eBay back then. Yeah. So is it 98? Yeah, I think so. So, I've been doing it so long, I kind of forget, but it's been at least 26, 27 years. So, when I first got on, I would buy and sell some baseball cards and toys, and more it was I didn't have a business, so I didn't realize that the opportunity to sell on eBay really existed for the everyday person. So, and I'm just going to give you a little brief. I used to be in the restaurant business, got sick, and closed the restaurant. Now it'll be June, 5 years ago, and used to sell part time and became full time then. But still, the question was, well, what do I sell? And really didn't even fully understand the daily opportunity, not just the monthly or the here and there opportunity that existed, but that people really make a full time living, selling on eBay. So I currently sell on eBay, occasionally Facebook. I got to fix that because I think the opportunity to sell on Facebook is tremendous. I sell on Amazon, and I sell on. I've sold on my website, thetravelingpicker.com. There's really not much up there now. I've sold the mystery boxes and stuff out of doing the pallet buying and stuff like that. But I would get frustrated with eBay because, I would list 100 things and sell one here, sell one there. And there were times I'd go 3 months without listing nothing. And it always seemed like I was waiting for that hot toy, that Cabbage Patch doll or something like that. And or I'd see people like sell cell phone. I'm like, well, I don't have cell phones, or I'm not going out and buying, $200 cell phones to flip for $50, and didn't really have the capital to do that anyways. And so I became full time, and really what changed for me was COVID. COVID took off, got crazy, people on demand, and I've been buying stuff from yard sales, garage sales, but in a weird way, COVID was good because Amazon basically for me exploded, and eBay was on the back burner. And then when everybody went back to work, I saw the sales really plummet, on Amazon. They really didn't need my hair dye that was $10 when they could pick it up for $7 themselves at the local CVS or Walgreens. And I struggled, and well, I finally stabilized. It was doing okay, but really what was missing was a Tech and Sports. And what is a Tech and Sports? Tech and Sports is an individual down in Florida. It sells about $1.5 million worth of clothes and hats on eBay. But I didn't know it. I know who Chris is from Daily Refinement, and they do a podcast once a week, and they also have a Patreon group. But a lot of times I'm leery of Patreon groups, just the way to sell, and I think I proved the point that, and this is neither an endorsement or a criticism of people doing Patreon, because I wanted to do a Patreon before COVID had started for the baseball card breaks. I saw that people were doing those, and I'm like, well, how do you pay? And I thought, I like cards, and wound up not doing it because COVID happened. I was busy with that, and I never went back to it. And guys that run card shops or really know the players are successful in doing those types of things. But again, I wasn't having no consistency with eBay, and I wanted to obviously, make this work so I can make money, and started watching other YouTube videos and seeing people. But ultimately, the one that just motivated me was I thought she released it. My friend Mel, back from Burnout, released a video podcast. Didn't see his face. She showed hers in the beginning, but they turned it off, and basically it was a podcast, and they talked for about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, something like that, and really picked Tech and Sports' brain on enlisting, and I liked his no BS, no nonsense stay focused, list every day, no excuses. If you can't list one day, create your draft bank. And that's where I really didn't understand. I never really had, to me, I would have maybe one or two in a draft that, oh, I can't find the information. Not really understanding the importance of having listings that even if you can't get to it that day, activating them that day, having them in a sense in a reserve, and a lot of times we do anyways. Let's think about this. We have inventory that's out there, or everybody calls their death pile. We have inventory that's existing, but it's not listed, and why not have it photographed? Get your descriptions, get them into your draft banks. And then if you have a day that you're busy, you're taking the kids to the soccer, you got things to do, something doesn't go right, doesn't matter. You're listing something every day. And a lot of the stuff that he said, I could relate to because that's the attitude I had when I was in the restaurant business. So why wasn't I incorporating that attitude? Because every day when I had the restaurant, we had to open it every day. We had to turn the key. I had to write a check for the electric, pay the employees, pay the mortgage, pay the, you know. But with eBay, you can sometimes become lazy. And I'm saying eBay, you know, if you're selling on Macari, Poshmark, or any other, same thing. And even though we would have a down day at the restaurant, it didn't matter. I was a working owner. I still had to get there, show up. I still had to, you know, set up that salad bar, cook that soup, and just like with eBay, you still got to do that. Even if you're not doing, let's say, a $300 day, you only do a $30 day. You gotta keep running your store daily. You have to attend to it. You have to do things to make it work, and that concept was on me when I had the restaurant. But why wasn't I incorporating that into my eBay business? And boy, he really hit home with me. And one of the things that he hit home was the importance of listing every day. And he said there are people in the group, and this is another thing. This is going to tell you something. I pay nothing. I'm not part of the group. I listen to their free 30 minutes that they do weekly, and then they say if you want to join the Patreon, it's longer. Go over and check it out. I've gone back. They've done something like 120 of these now so far. And Chris, even though he got kicked off of eBay for something to do with shoe sales, he's doing whatnot and doing things, and he's doing over $1 million a year. Technosports is doing several million because he was smart. The money that he made selling online, he invested into real estate, and now he has a walk-in shop down there, I guess in Miami somewhere down, maybe not Miami, but I don't think it's Miami, but the Florida area, and sort of like a hip hop shop, that stuff he doesn't sell online that people can walk in, and he's got landscaping business. So he's really really focused on being a successful individual. And to me, I want to be a successful individual, even though I failed at the restaurant ultimately, even though I did it for 12 years and had to close it for health reasons, pretty much. You know, failures happen in life, and a lot of us, jobs don't work out, health reasons, things happen, places close. And I always felt like I wanted to have eBay be something for me that would basically make a bounce back. You know, it might take 5 or 10 years, but I would be able to hold my head high and say, hey, even though I closed the restaurant and failed there and lost a lot of money, that eBay or online was my saving grace, and that if I put this effort into doing it, I'm going to be successful and be able to do the things that I want. And that's the biggest thing, is right now, and I can't really get a regular job. There's some complications I have with my health that nobody wants to listen to. So the ability to basically, and you know, I've been able to get in the car, get in a van, and the traveling picker. I mean, go out there, you know, go to Florida, go down to Kentucky, go to Tennessee, go out to Ohio, pick things up for other people, go and meet other resellers, go, you know, still go down to Disney and stuff like that. But going back to when Mel had him on, it really hit home, and I'm like it was like an aha or a duh. Like, come on, Pat. It was a moment. So, and I have results, and not everybody. It's not going to happen overnight. They said that he said he listed every day. It took like 10 months to really make the difference. Now, he lists 250 items a day to sell 250 items a day. He's got over 52,000 listings. I currently, right now, have about 3,600 listings. I'm listing 500 items a month. My store is a 10,000 listing store. And boy, does it bug me that I have a store that can hold 10,000 items. And I have those 10,000 items. Imagine that. Imagine having, think about that. Here's that analogy. Imagine having a store, a physical store, having 10,000 items, but only 35% of your items are for sale. The other people come in, and imagine a 1,000 square foot store. 350 square feet is that stuff that's listed and sellable, and the other 65%, 650, it can't sell, not listed, just sitting there. How stupid would that be? It's crazy, but there is work involved. And what happens is, when you go from basically a store, for me, that was a struggle to keep at 1,000 sometimes. Now you're basically, for me, I was at 1,000 listings, maybe a little less, maybe 800 at this time last year. So this video coming out for basically the end of January, early February 2023. That's where I was. I was at anywhere about 900, let's say 900. I remember hitting 1,000 and selling some things, falling back. And if you go back and look at some of my videos, you'll see, I hit 2,000. So I have steadily been listing about 500 items a month. And I could tell you last year was my busiest year on eBay. Now, with that being said, let's talk about the numbers. Last 2021, I did about $800 a month doing eBay. So that was 10,000 a year. But in 2020, I did about 6,000 or 7,000 on eBay, but I did over 200,000 on Amazon. The following year, Amazon dropped down. I probably did 80 or 90,000 on Amazon, but I did again 6,000 or 7,000 on eBay. Well, last year, 2022, was my busiest year, and July 4th is when I watched that. I actually had, and I don't know if that's the day that she released the video, Mel, because I could tell you, I started listening to it, watching it, and a lot of times, even I'll watch it on my iPad or my phone, laying in the bed, and I got Seinfeld on in the background or something, and I know I was falling asleep, and I was like, I'm gonna miss the message, and I realized how important it was. So I went back another day and finished it up and watched. Then I went back another day when I was doing some listings and shipping, and I listened to the whole thing again, and I started listening. So maybe it came out the end of June, early July, but July 4th, I made a conscious effort to list every day. Every day. I think at the time I was maybe listing 10 items a day. But I made a conscious effort, and I have listed every day. Even I went on Disney vacation in October, and what I did, I have a ScanSnap scanner. I scanned them all into my laptop, because I said, well, I can even list. I'm going to list even postcards when I'm gone. It's something easy, because I put them in my computer bag, there's something like 250 of them, and I took them along. And while I was down there, I bought some Disney things, stopped at a thrift store, driving through South Carolina, bought some t-shirts and bought some things. So I had plenty of stuff. We'd go to the park, get home around 10:30, and I would create those drafts. I would do those listings. And if there was, I stayed ahead of it. So if there was a day I knew, we're going to get back late, it didn't matter. I had listings ready for the next day. So, and as of now, even this month, I was nervous. I was like, I think we're in a recession already. But there's still people out there that want to spend money. And you know what? Even at $5 or $10 a postcard, or $20 for a collectible item, There's still people out there that have disposable income, or maybe they're not going out, and they're not going out to eat, or they're not going to something fancy, but they'll spend $20 for something that comforts them, and that's fine. I got to have the stuff for them, just like any successful reseller. So last year, I basically went from 2021 7,000 to doing 33,000 roughly, 32,700, something like that, $33,000 in 2022. So get that. July 4th, think about that. I did 33,000, and I bet you between January and July 4th, I probably only had done 3,000. So $30,000 of that came in the last. And when I started listing every day, I was a little discouraged at first because it took like 3-4 weeks to really start getting a sale every day. I've got a sale. I'm pretty sure I've gotten a sale every day. Maybe, I don't want to feel like I'm lying here, maybe there's been 2 days in the last 7 months that I didn't have a sale. And it was weird. Sometimes I'd be like, oh, no sale today. All of a sudden, around midnight, cha-ching, 3 things would sell. Or, it's sometimes I'd wake up even in the morning. It's just weird sometimes. But, maybe West Coast, I'm here in Pennsylvania, West Coast customers, buying late at night. Or I don't know. But so when you think about that, I went from 7,000 a year to doing 33,000 a year. My goal for eBay this year is really to try to do around 60,000, and that's low, that's conservative. I could tell you that I am on target to do that. It's only been a month in, but I had a pretty good week this past week. I did about $1,400 just this week on eBay. That doesn't include anything else that I'm selling, and through my Instagram, I sell even a little, or Facebook, and post on YouTube or anything like that, or Amazon. So this month overall for me has been the best month in over a year across my online business. So it's been good. But I like that it's been good, because even during the summer when it's a little slow and I'm out there doing yard sales and doing garage sales, and I can enjoy the outside and cut the lawn and do the things that I need to do. So I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna put this back on and show you the calendar, and I hope this motivates you. So basically, think about that: 6,000 2021 to 33,000 to my goal is 60,000 on eBay this year. And I want to be, I'm at 3,600, 3,650 roughly when you're watching this. Now, with that being said, I'm selling stuff. So, if you're adding 500 and you're selling 300, you're still net gaining 200. But you can look at your listings and be like, wow, I went from 3,600 to 4,100 back to 3,700, 3,800 because I sold things. So what I'm going to do, instead of making my goal of 500 for February, I'm going to up that. I'm going to make it, my goal is to do 600. And it's not just postcard. It's an assortment of stuff. I sell clothing. I sell oddballs. I sell collectibles. I sell things. I'm an all-around store right now. Will I stay that way forever? Absolutely, probably not. But for now, I'm an all-around store. I'm learning some of this stuff as I go. What stuff is good to buy? What stuff I should be passing on? And don't be afraid to pass on stuff. So my goal is 600 items, and but it's not about everybody says, oh, I list 20 items. You can list 20 items at $2. It's $40. Is that going to get you doing? So simple math. If I want to do basically $5,000 a month, you pretty much got to sell at $25. You got to sell 200 items at $25. So if you're listing $2 items and you sell 200 of those, it's only gonna be $400. You're not gonna do $5,000. So, all right, let me flip the camera around. I do appreciate you guys watching this, listening, hearing me out, And if you are new to the channel, you could subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. But when I finish out the video, last couple minutes, and show the calendar, and we'll give you 2 updates a month. And keep watching, because I'm buying pallets, and I'm gonna do a little bit more sort of this. I consider these type videos experience, meaning what am I doing and what is working for me, and a little educational. So that means if you're new, or if you're doing it and say, oh, okay, yeah, I like that idea, that's a good idea, or I can incorporate whatever. I do it. I listen to watch in other people and pick up little tidbits, you know, here and there. And you can listen to Daily Refinement, Chris. Every week they do a public hangout where they do like because I guess they do it every day where they hang out. But he gets up like 6 o'clock in the morning. That guy's driven to California, and they do a live for about an hour and a half. And you can listen to them while you're listening and doing your stuff, and get something out of it. I hear the pipes rattling. We have oil here in Pennsylvania, so I think the thermostat was turned up, and it's 28 degrees outside when I'm filming this. So, all right, let me flip the camera around, and we'll finish the video out looking one more time at the board and a couple little tidbits. All right, man, I grabbed the GoPro Pro, and it said I was basically talking there 21 minutes because there's a timer on it, and it was hot. So, you know, imagine the little battery that's in these GoPros and how hot it felt. So, you know, sometimes you see these electrical cars in the fire, but, yeesh. But anyways, all right, so here's the 30-day organizer board with a dry erase marker. That's what I like about this. And I set it up February 20, you can see there, February 2023, 28 days. So there's not 30, 31 days. So my goal is, I'm going to write that here, is 600 a month is the goal. 600 listings with, so let's do the math. Let's do a $15 average. So my point being, so for example, and we're going to write this down. Let's say, for example, we list 20 things. Let me tilt this up so you guys can see it a little bit better. I'm looking down on the camera. Okay, so let's say, here's an example. Let's say, so pretty much you're going to have to list about 20 times, that would be 560. So you're going to have to list about 23 items a day to hit that. For me, not you. So 20 listings, for example, if you did 20 listings at that value of $10 each, that's only $200. If I'm looking to do basically 5,000, and let me get my calculator out here. So there's 28 days. Okay. So here's the calculator. $5,000 divided by 28 days is $178 a day. So, and I'm not going to erase this because I want you to follow along. $178 a day in money. So that's to get to the 5K. So basically, if you list 20 items at $10 and assume they all sell, of course, what I find is a lot of the listings I'm listing now don't even, certain things sell now, but it keeps the store active, and things that I've had listed in there a year or two ago are selling. So, but I want to stay ahead of that 5K. So, realistically, if I list 25 items a day at an average of $15, let's do the math there. 25 times 15 is $375. So $375 times 28 days for February is $10,500, and 25 listings a day would give me 700 items. So I want to do 600, but as you can see there, if I do 25 a day and an average of 50, because again, and that's what I want to talk about, it's not about the listings, because I don't want to list 600 $3 items and gain $1,800 worth of potential sales. What I want to do is I want to be somewhere in between this $10 and $15 and somewhere in between 20 and 25 listings a day, so that I have $200 to $375 worth of potential. And I want to build this up, because really by June, which I know is a crazy goal, I want it to have my store filled and have 10,000 listings. That will be a little difficult. Now, is it attainable? Yes. But do I want to flood the store with what I would consider low-cost junk? And what is low-cost junk? Well, stuff that's $2. Now, if you look at my store, you'll say, hey, Pat, I see that you have $2 baseball cards, $5 baseball cards. I do. And a lot of times that was done. I like buying and selling baseball cards. They take up a very little space. I mean, I have 3 boxes upstairs right now that are roughly 1,200 cards or stickers. And guess what? Every week I peel off 4 or 5 of those. Meaning, what do you mean by peel off? Meaning I sell $25, $30 a week, sometimes sometimes someone will come along and buy 5 or 6. I have nickels and dimes into that. So I'm not deterred by that. But I don't want to bombard and do a whole bunch of those listings. Those are what I call fill-ins. In between, I could scan them through, just like postcards, in between taking pictures of bigger ticket items that so if I'm running behind, or if I'm out on the road picking up 6-7 pallets at the storage facility, I can have them in the draft bank and activate those to at least have some activity. And at the end of the day, like I said, a small shoebox sometimes could be worth $1,000 holding the right cards, postcards, baseball cards, football cards, or those types of things. So this is where I want to be. So I have the potential right now. My store can list 10,000 items, or roughly 300. And so my store has the ability to list 10,000 items, or $325,000, $330,000 worth of stuff. So to hit this goal, so my goal for February is $5,000 for eBay, $178 a day, 600 listings. And I'm not going to be even if I don't hit that, that's fine. Doesn't matter, because I build the store up, do things right, that so that in the future, if I have a month, for example, like June, where maybe I only do 300 listings in June, but I start June out. So if let's say I have a slow month of June where I only do $3,000 and it's 175 listings, it ain't gonna matter, because I'm sitting there with, let's say, at 8,000, 9,000 items in the store. I'm preparing the store for success. And also, I do a tremendous amount of money in the fourth quarter. I sell a lot of toys. I sell a lot of, collectible type things that, people want. And I do sell a lot of clothes, believe it or not. And I'm building that up as I'm buying pallets and selling affordable clothes that I can beat. Obviously I can do better than Target, because I'm paying a lot less than what they are. So that's the goal. I will update this twice a month for you guys and tell you where I'm at. So, maybe I'll come here around the 13th, the 14th, and then come here around the 27th and tell you what, and then show you overall when we start. I'll take a picture. Maybe I'll do a little video at the end when we change this over for March, and hold myself accountable and show you a couple things in the video. Hey, this is what we sold, and that's it. Now this is just going to be for eBay. I have my Amazon that and a lot of Amazon sellers don't really share their store just because of the competitive nature and how hard it is actually to find product and track it down to sell on there. So Amazon's weird, has its own issues over there. So this is an eBay listing. Everybody pretty much could sell on eBay. And wish me luck, guys. And thanks for watching. Again, if you guys give me thumbs up. And if you're new, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe and follow me. Thanks again. Bye.